Do you know what your characters look like? How they think? Who they love? Who they loathe? In this second episode of my Aeon Timeline mini-series, we'll dive into the properties section of the character cards. How I use it to build complex, believable characters. I hope they're complex and believable characters. And also the relationships panel, where connections start to take shape. If you missed episode 1, you'll find a link in the description. That episode covers basic character setup, portraits and timeline display. This series is part of a larger collection in which I explore how I am using Aeon Timeline 3 to wrangle the zero draft of my SF novel in progress, Loose in New London. It's a working title. In the description, you will also find a chapter list for this video, so feel free to jump around or go straight to what interests you most. So let's get started. Here is the timeline. And to the right, we've got an open character card for Luz Tolimor, my protagonist. Here you can see this tab called Properties. Under this tab, you can see the default properties, tags and summary. And if that's all you need, then do stick with them. But if, like me, you use a template for constructing your characters, or perhaps not so much to construct them as to remind yourself of all the things about your characters that it is good to remember, then it's useful to know that you can use those template fields, you can add those template fields here, as many fields as you want. Go up to the top right-hand corner of the screen to the cogwheel here and click on it to open Settings. Then move along here to the Properties tab. Click here, excuse me, and you can add as many new fields under Properties as you like. I'm using Lajos Egri's template for my characters. In the middle of the 20th century in the USA, Egri was a dramatist, a scriptwriter, and the author of The Art of Creative Writing. He argued that for every character, a writer needs to think of them in terms of their physiology, how they look, their sociology, how they interact with other characters and their society, and their psychology, how they think of themselves, and perhaps the things about them that are hidden in their subconscious. It's a very mid-20th century perspective, but then I am almost a very mid-20th century man. So let's put those fields in. Make sure each field allows for a multiple line text box and check you've clicked the box so this applies to characters, and then click on OK. If we look now under Properties, we see input fields for physiology, psychology and sociology. Oh dear, they are in the wrong order. Sociology between physiology and psychology. Dear me, however did that happen? To fix it, I'll go back to the Properties input panel and simply click and hold on psychology and drag it down into the right place. Save it and see, in the card, the fields are in the right order. What a relief. Just to underline the point that you can put in any fields you want here, in this chapter of the video, I am quickly demonstrating adding character template fields from 2 completely different character construction grids that I found online. You can find them too, as many as you want. Just run an image search for fictional character template. You'll find yourself drowning in them. Why an image search, you ask? Because a general web search will lead you to lots of websites trying to sell you character templates, whereas an image search will actually show you the templates. The only new thing to note here is that you can erase the fields as easily or more easily than you can create them just by highlighting the field and clicking on the rubbish bin. That is a trash can for you, my American friends. And since we have stepped out of the flow slightly, now seems like a good moment to put in a reminder that if you are finding this interesting, and if you have not yet done so, please do click the subscribe button. I am told it is a good idea to ask people to subscribe in the middle of a video, even despite the sound of motorcycles zooming past. Back to the proper business. Just in case you had any doubts, all character cards inherit the same properties. So if I click on Ben here and scroll down, under properties you can see that he has the same 3 Lajos Egri fields as I gave to Luz. Yes, I put them back after screen capturing the chaos of the last chapter. And if I click here, you will see the counter teller and Inca have them as well. All the characters have the same template. You cannot have different templates for different characters, but that's perhaps just as well. You can put as much information into the template fields as you like. There may be a limit, though I have not yet found it. I think if you run into a limit, you only need to create a new field and continue inputting information there. Just by way of a demonstration, you see me here pasting in the start of what I wrote for Luz in physiology, sociology, and in a moment there, psychology. Masses of text. Characters interact with one another. In this chapter, I'm going to be associating Luz with 2 other characters. In Luz's own character card, Character Inspector, I scroll down to where it says More Relationships. I click it open to reveal the list of options and hover the cursor over Characters. A list of my characters appears and I can click on the ones I want to associate Luz with. Let's add Ben and Phenon. Then click away to close the options list. There they are. Let's go to Ben's character card, which I can do by just clicking on his name in Luz's card. Click on Select in Inspector and here we are. Let's fill Ben's card out with some more info. Ben Bethel is the Provost of London University and I'm using Prov as his initials. I'm giving him a colour, purple, because he is one of my point of view characters. He doesn't have a big role, but it's an important one. Let's give him a birth date. I'll type it in as 29 June 2453 and also check the ongoing box. On Midsummer's Day, 2500, he is just a few days short of his 47th birthday. Let's go back to Luz and repeat the same exercise with Phenon. Select him in the Inspector. Here we have him. Scroll back to the top of the card. His name is Phenon Boating. His initials FEN. The colour I've associated with him is red. He's another of my point of view characters. His birth date 14th October 2475 and ongoing, and you can see that he is 24 years 8 months and 1 week old on the 21st of June 2500. Let's find a picture for him. Another of my AI assisted creations. Again, I am not delighted with it, but it will do for now. And if we add characters to the timeline again, now we can see Phenon and Luz just below him there. I've also, as you can see, put in an image for Ben Bethel. If you've seen my video about searching for images to represent my fictional characters, it's called Picturing People, then you will recognize this one. There's a link in the description. And there they are, the 3 of them, and the coloured bars show their lifelines. Now I am going to demonstrate how you can filter the timeline by character. Go to the list of characters, which you have opened by clicking on the profile icon on the left-hand margin, remember. Choose the character you want to filter by. I'll start by clicking on Luz Tolimore, and on the pencil icon to the left of her name. In the options list that appears, I choose the filter symbol, the funnel symbol. And what happens, as you see, is this black bar appears exactly over Luz's character chapter. It has her birth marked and, unnervingly, her death. It is not her death, but the line points to the present day. You can see both characters that she's associated with in our demo are in the timeline, and as all three are alive at the same time, the coloured lines for all three stop at the present day. However, if we go over to Phenon and do the same exercise with him, switch focus to him, keep the filter on, now only Phenon and Luz are visible. Maybe this will be easier to see if I switch focus to Ben. I click on Ben's name and leave the filter on, and now only Ben and Luz are in frame, and the black line marks Ben's life from birth to the present. This happens because I've associated Luz with Ben and separately Luz with Phenon, but I haven't associated Ben and Phenon with one another. So this is a handy way of restricting the timeline to only show people and events who are related to one another. If you've got a lot of characters in different constellations, as I have, this is a really useful trick to keep an overview of them. One other thing, even after I have removed characters from visibility in the timeline, you will see that the black line representing the focus character's life remains on screen. I switch back to Luz, so it's her line that you can see there. This means that you can restrict the view only to events, for example, related to your focus character, while keeping the character's lifespan visible. You don't have to keep the focus character's portrait and box, or the portraits and boxes of any of the characters they may be associated with, cluttering up the timeline. So you see Luz's lifeline filter is still showing. This is because the filter I applied is still in place. You can see a yellow spot. It looks yellow to me. It might be green, but I'm a little colorblind. A yellow spot on the funnel filter icon in the left-hand margin. If I click on the filter icon and then on the focused view tab, you will see that I can choose to clear all, which removes the filter. So that brings us to the end of episode 2 in this short series about using Aeon Timeline 3 for character building. We've looked at using the properties section to add depth, how to create relationships between characters, and how to filter the timeline to track them more easily. If you found this video useful, now would be a good moment to give me a thumbs up. In episode 3, I'll take you through how I use Aeon's event and backstory tools and how to stay calm when things go wrong. You'll find the next video linked here, abouts, or in the description. I'll see you over there. Cheerio for now.